One of the craziest things I've realized about life is that if you try less, you will gain more success. Now, I'm not saying not to try at all and to just sit there and let life pass you by. You got to at least put in some effort and put in the work. But there's this state of mind that a lot of modern society comes to that they put so much pressure on themselves for the outcome. And it comes from a multitude of reasons. I can't map out everybody's brain in one video, but I think I can give at least one of the causes. And if this resonates with you, then I guess this video is doubly for you. But over the years, we have found ourselves in a very nihilistic state where, nothing seems to matter. And if you fail, you just kind of fade away. And to a lot of modern society, that's terrifying. Like, a lot of people have this pressure on them to succeed. So it becomes this endless loop of anxiety that they are feeding their own brains, where they're like, I have to make this work. I have to make this work. And then they put too much care, too much pressure, too much effort that they lose their flow state. And in my experience, the universe loves when you're in your flow state. That's the main aim of this video, is to find that flow state where you're putting in the effort, you're putting in the work, but you're detached from the outcome, you're detached from the results, although you're not. You're aiming to get the best result, but if you're like grinding your teeth, clenching down and trying too hard to get the best result, that always tends to backfire, and then you end up getting the worst result. Like, I look back at all of my day jobs, right, that I've had. The ones I succeeded are the ones where I come into the attitude, I clock in, do the work, accept where I'm at, take my time, one assignment at a time, watch the reps pile up, watch the work pile up, and then let it speak for itself. And then management's going to accept it the way it is. And those are the ones where I accept that I have complete, no control over everything after I finish my work and hand it off and make sure it's inspected. Especially as a welder in my day job, because that's actually what I do currently. I'm not going to say where at or what exactly I do, just to keep all that, company stuff private. I like to at least keep some form of privacy in my day-to-day life. Like, I remember when I first started out, I was so anxious about every little thing that I did that's where I ended up tripping myself up. It was when I actually had to take a step back, go and do some soul searching and find out how to get to that flow state where I'm trying but not too hard. And now it's like that. I am very thorough about what I do, and I will double or triple check things just to make sure it's done right. But other than that, after I've done the work, that there's nothing really I can do, and then I have to detach myself from the anxiety of the outcome and the outcome itself. And especially when it comes to like making content too, because I know that right now this channel has a variety of different types. Sometimes it's a little goofy sketch, sometimes it's a little bit more deep, kind of like this one. And then other times I'm making ice cream or playing guitar riffs or something like that. I think the reason why is that's a perfect example of the flow state, because I like the steady growth that this channel is overgoing. I feel it going up slowly but surely, not too fast, but just at the universe's right timing. Also, by the way, thank you to everybody who watches these videos and sends a like or a comment or anything. Even though sometimes I feel like it's just a goof comment or it's a serious comment where someone's saying like I've helped them or resonate with them. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the engagement. But the best results come when I'm being authentic, when I'm not trying too hard, when I'm completely detached from the outcome or how people are going to receive these videos, that I'm able to authentically just say what's on my mind, put in a word, put in some effort, think, hey, I just want to make something silly that someone's going to laugh at, or just kind of like make something that's really been deeply on my mind that I want to make a video about, that maybe it might resonate with some people who are online doing some soul searching, looking for some wisdom from someone who might be older, because there's a lot of people nowadays who just seem lost. And I do hope that this finds the people who have their questions answered, if this video answers the question. But after that, after I put out the video, that's all I can really go with. After I post it, I just have to kind of let the rest speak for itself and know that I myself did everything I could in my power without putting all this pressure on myself or all this atmosphere on my shoulders to try to make it perfect. Nothing really is perfect. And I think once you accept that, it goes easier. And then you have more successes than failures, and then you start to trust that flow state once again, and you get enough wins piled up, you become super confident, and you still learn how to put in that effort and put in work and healthily hustle is what I like to call it. Because I'm not totally against hustle culture, but sometimes I think a lot of people who get sapped up into it take it to an all-time extreme where they burn themselves out or run themselves down. And, I get it. Especially in nowadays economy, it's easier to run yourself down now more than ever. So, my advice is to just remember to take some rest time and, make sure that you're taking care of your mental health too. And if you need to take breaks, take breaks. That helps you also not put too much pressure and stay afloat and in your flow state. But just understand that when you try too hard because of all the pressures in the world or the pressures that you put on yourself, even though some of them are out there, we all have a little bit of pressure. And sometimes putting some pressure on yourself to get up and at least go look for something to do and go find who you are is a healthy bit of pressure. Because, I don't want to say, oh, no pressure, everything's sunshine and rainbows, because obviously that's not the state of the world. But sometimes we at least got to put enough under ourselves to say, okay, let's get up and let's take that first step to find the path. And sometimes that first step is the scariest one to take, where there is the most pressure. But that's the best part, is once you take that first step, the next step seems easier and there's less anxiety. And then you start to trust the process of life. And especially when you're young and you're first starting out, that's the hardest thing to do, is trust the process of life. But as the older I get, I think that helps me find that flow state, is understanding where I am today versus where I was 10 years ago is completely different. And it is because over time I've learned how to trust the timing of the universe or God or whatever you want to call it, and just put in the work that you feel like you're being called to now. Because this topic has been on my mind for about a week, and I was actually following my own advice while putting this one together. It's like, I don't know how to present this. I don't know how to present this. And then I took a nap, went to the gym, went for a 2-mile run, did a lift. And then what I did was I just said, you know what? I'm going to turn on the mic, say what's on my mind right now while I just feel like that flow state's running through my body. And I think that's how I'm going to get the best outcome possible. So I honestly do trust that this video is the best that I'm possibly going to make it. And I do thank everyone for watching. But I know it's a lot and a lot of different points of view and everything. But if you're trying to find something out or trying to take a shot at something, go ahead and do it. But just remember not to put so much pressure on yourself that you end up self-sabotaging, or you lose that flow state, or you lose faith in the reps that you're putting in. Because one of the things that I've realized to really help that is understand that, you're a human just like everybody else. Your work is just as good as long as you pay enough attention to the detail to get it done right, but not too much to where you self-sabotage and get it done wrong. But that's what I got to say. It's been great actually finally getting this out there. Like I said, try less when you feel like you're trying too much, and I feel like your successes will pile up over time. It's not an overnight thing. Nothing worth doing or nothing getting better at is an overnight thing. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.